Hello, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. As some of you may know, I work in a financial institution, in a bank, where I am customer journey expert, whatever that means. But I recently completed the project and I was looking for a new challenge, which I found. I applied for a new job and I started there in a new team in January 2025. Obviously, that implied I had to leave behind my old team. And that was a team I'd been working with for 3.5 years. And we bonded, we really did. It was a great team. So a big shout out to you guys at Servizio Real. Now, you do not go to a new team without giving a goodbye drink for your old team, obviously. And my old team didn't let me go without a goodbye gift. They gave me a beautiful bottle of scotch. And here she is, the bottle that I got as a gift from my colleagues, the Spey 18 years old. Now, Spey 18 years old, Spey is actually the malt that is being marketed by the Speyside distillery. And I have to be honest, I find that name a little bit confusing maybe, because the Speyside distillery is named after a region. So you could say the Speyside distillery is a Speyside distillery. And that's a bit confusing, wouldn't you say? But that is why they actually market their whiskey as simply Spey. And there you have it. And it's, of course, also quite in a distinctive bottle as well. They have a couple of releases. And as far as I'm aware, they are currently moving premises because the land on which the Speyside distillery currently sits is no longer leasing to them. So they have to move. And I believe the operation of moving is already underway. Maybe even already concluded. I haven't checked, to be honest. I believe they are moving from Kingassy to somewhere near the Laggan Dam. Anyway, still in the heart of Speyside. There we go. The Spey 18 years old. This is bottled at 43% ABV, and this is a mixture of casks. There's also some sherry casks in the mix, besides some bourbon casks. You can see this got a beautiful gold color, although it does not really cling to the glass. Well, maybe a little bit. It's cold, so maybe that's. I'm not too sure if this is going to be of a very high viscosity, but nevertheless, let's find out if this is any good. The Spey 18 years old at 43% on the nose. This is very friendly, in fact. Quite fruity. I get some raisins and some apricots. Loads of apricots. A touch of vanilla in there as well. Some baked apples, some juicy pears. Quite lovely indeed, but quite docile, if you can say that of a whiskey. This is very approachable, very easygoing, but in my opinion, flawless on the palate. It is nicely oily, in fact. Clings to the mouth, clings to the teeth. It becomes a bit syrupy. And again, I get these sherry notes. They clearly dominate. I get the raisins again. I get the apricots, some peach even, some sultanas, and there's a bit of wood spices in there as well, but quite friendly again. I get some white pepper maybe, but just a pinch, and then I get some nutmeg and some clear notes of licorice as well. The nutmeg becomes brighter. But again, quite approachable, very friendly, very easygoing, but fruity and entertaining. Quite lovely on the finish then. Smooth is the word that I would use. This is a very smooth finish indeed. Not overly long. It remains juicy, and it's got this nice balance though between becoming dry and maybe a bit oaky with a slight bitterness, but not too oaky, not over oaky. Don't get me wrong. And then on the other hand, you've got these smooth, sweet, fruity, very friendly fruity notes indeed. Well, I have to be honest, Spey is not really on my radar that often. It's I don't know, I've never found it a sexy whiskey, to be honest. But then you get a bottle, an 18 years old, which is already quite a respectable age for a whiskey, of course, from your co-workers, and then you discover that, hey, maybe you've been wrong all the time, because this Spey 18 is quite a lovely Speyside single malt. And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings real soon. And until then, may the malt be with you. Bye-bye.